Most people don't realize it, but our reality is more flexible than we think. We are constantly shifting through parallel realities, and today I want to share with you, aside from changing your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, I want to share today what you can do to shift onto your ideal reality. It's already happening. You're already shifting. It's part of this. It's part of the design of this reality. It's part of our game on Earth. Right? But there's things that we can do to shift onto a reality where we have more abundance, we have more love, more peace, more joy, more satisfaction. And I spent a lot of years early in my awakening journey trying to change my reality. I wanted to have more money and I wanted to make content. I wanted to become a coach. And it took me a while because of this one thing that I'm going to share with you today on this video. So welcome, my friend. I am on a journey to consciousness. I'm on a journey to manifest my ideal reality. I have a good life right now, but I do have a lot of progress to go. And I'll be sharing a lot more on this channel about what I am creating in my life. I want to hear from you as well, what you're creating. I'm going to create a community on this channel. And I wrote down a couple things here that I want to talk about. And I think a lot of us, we see our reality change when we have a big event. Maybe we move across the country like I did a couple times, or we change careers, we change jobs, or we have a breakup, or it could be a relationship thing, it could be a partner change or a family change. When these things happen, we understand that our reality has shifted because we can see it. But I really believe that this idea of shifting across parallel realities is real. And you can look up someone named Bashar. He's a very famous channeler. He discusses this a lot on his videos. But he says that we are really always shifting through parallel realities every single millisecond. What happens is that the realities are very similar to our previous ones, that we don't really understand that it's like we're shifting because everything looks the same, but we are. And when I studied quantum physics about 8 years ago, I got super deep into reading, many books, tons of books about just kind of what the new science is showing. Quantum physics is showing us that our reality is flexible. Everything is energy. And while it may seem like we're kind of stuck or we're trapped in a certain reality, I kind of feel the same way right now. This morning, I'm recording this video. I almost didn't make it because we had a long night last night with my son. He's teething, he's crying all night. We barely can rest. We can barely relax and sleep. It's always something's going on with him. At least last night that was the case. And there's times in life where we can feel like we're trapped. We can feel like we're stuck. We can feel like nothing's changing. And I want to just share with you what I wish I learned sooner in this video today, because like I said, I've read a lot of books about law of attraction, quantum physics. I was watching a lot of YouTubers many years ago, 7, 8 years ago. And this is one thing that I just never really saw people talk about a lot. I watched a lot of videos about subconscious mind, and I'll be sharing more about this on this channel, of course, about how to reprogram our mind with our beliefs, right? Our early traumas in life affect us. The way we were raised and conditioned with our parents affects us a lot. So we all know that. We all know that we're programmed in life with our family, and a lot of our family beliefs become our beliefs. And I know for myself, growing up as a kid, I've been doing this myself, is looking back on my beliefs. And I think beliefs, I would say, is about half of the battle. So we're gonna cover this for a second. I know, like for me, some beliefs I had from my parents were that I remember I grew up playing ice hockey. It was pretty expensive playing hockey because a lot of equipment, a lot of money you have to spend for the ice time at the rinks to play, and then you have travel, you have tournaments, you have hotels, dinners. So I remember growing up as a kid, and if you would break a stick, that's a couple $100 right there. You have to go buy a new stick. So I always kind of carried some guilt as a kid playing hockey, and I knew it was expensive. My parents would always remind me, we're spending so much on hockey, we're spending all this money. And then I remember they would say at dinner time things like, money does not grow on trees. And things like when I was eating dinner at night, I would be done eating dinner and my plate was still maybe a little bit full, a little bit food on the plate still, and they would say, there's people in Africa starving. And just these things that a lot of our parents imprint on us can give us this scarcity mindset. If we look at the facts, right, they're printing money off the printing press. The Federal Reserve, it's not even federal, it's a private corporation that's printing our money, and the money is not backed by anything solid. It's a fiat, it's a paper currency. And so that's kind of not true. The money is being printed. There's tons of money everywhere. And this is what I've been working on to reprogram myself, is that there's the only scarcity is believing in scarcity. Like whatever you believe is going to happen for us. And a lot of us have the same thing with our parents, have kind of given us these beliefs that aren't ideal. And a lot of the beliefs also come down to what we're worthy of, and a lot of it's also about what can we receive. Like I've been sharing this on this channel in the last few videos. I was sharing a recent experience where someone on my team at work told me in front of the whole group, like, Trevor's very smart, said I was very smart in front of the team. And I had a hard time receiving that. I had a hard time accepting that, wow, what if I actually am very smart? And when these things happen, I try to question why I reacted a certain way. And I think for me, it is a thing around shining and being seen as very good at something. And I look back on my childhood once again, as all this stuff comes from, it seems like our early childhood days. But for myself, being the oldest of 4 siblings, there were times when, whether I got good grades in school, or I had a good hockey game, or I did well. I used to play sports outside, just in the neighborhood, and I was always trying to do my best. And I think I was pretty good at sports growing up. And so I always felt guilty when people close to me saw me doing good, and maybe they weren't doing as good. And me being an empath and being sensitive, of course I didn't know this back then, how I could feel emotions. But when I succeeded back then, I did well at something, my siblings or my friends, people around me, I could feel how they felt, and I could feel how they felt bad. So on the one hand, if I'm excelling, maybe it was in school or in sports, I'm doing good. But then the feedback I get from the world, from people around me, maybe it's my classmates or teammates or my siblings, I can feel from them that they don't feel good. So me doing good makes them not feel good. And it creates this feedback loop of, okay, well, maybe to avoid them not feeling good, I'm just not gonna do good. I'm just not gonna try very hard, or I'm gonna hide myself, I'm gonna dim my light, I'm not gonna shine, because then they feel good, then they feel better. And this is what we have to break, this pattern. A lot of us have this pattern. I've seen it in many clients I've worked with over the years. What about you? Do you have this pattern perhaps? Is there some kind of pattern where maybe when you do really well, or you're outspoken, or you're being seen, you're being bold, has anybody in your family, anybody maybe in school, at work, have they reacted a certain way, and maybe they've caused you to stop doing that, or to dim that down, turn it down a little bit? No, we didn't come here to suppress our gifts, right? If we believe that our success and us shining is bad for some people, then we're gonna stop doing it. Okay, those people that have those reactions, this is what I had to learn over the years, and it's just an ongoing process, is that, yeah, I might trigger people, especially at work right now, right? So at work, I'm with a team, I'm doing consulting, and I think I'm a pretty good consultant, just saying this humbly. And I can tell sometimes maybe the way I'm very direct, I'm very bold, I'm very creative, and whatever my energy, I know it can trigger some people, maybe at work sometimes. But I've seen this happen just so many times over the years that I'm just really focusing on however they react to me. It's not my job to manage that. It's literally not my job. I can be aware of it, I can sense how they feel, and that's okay, but that's where it ends. I'm not gonna try and control that, or try to keep the peace and just make sure I'm a certain way for them in their box, how they want to see me, or I'm not gonna be how they want me to be. I'm gonna be who I know I am, with my skills, with my ability, with my talents, my ability to speak. And this perfectly leads into my next and my main point in this video. I was teasing it for a while. We just kind of covered some beliefs there, right? If we believe that us shining is bad for some people, makes them feel miserable, or makes them hurt, then we're not going to be able to be to shine our fullest gifts in the world. those people that have those reactions to you that get triggered, whatever happens to them, that's their work to do. You're helping them to do the work, to do the emotional work. You might trigger them, and then they can finally face that time when they were 5 and their dad, whatever happened that triggered, whatever emotionally they have to heal from, you're going to help them to do that. So that's the first part. Now the next part, and this is what I wanted to share in this video, because we know that our thoughts have power on our reality, and our emotions have power, and our actions have power. Those 3 things create our personality, which creates our personal reality. We all know this. But what we're not taught about in school, and what I didn't know for a while, is this. I look back on my journey, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting. I don't really know why, but I think because I'm sharing more business content as well. I'm getting more into leadership coaching and coaching managers and helping managers with emotional intelligence. And I've been thinking a lot about my days at the restaurants, because if you don't know my story, I went to business school about 8 years ago. I finished business school 8 years ago. And then I spent the next 5 years with working with restaurants. And a lot of people didn't understand why I would kind of go backwards in life. And, those restaurant years for me, there was a lot of times where, I love restaurants. For me, it was a lot of fun. It was like a team sport. But there was a lot of nights where I had a lot of thoughts at night, like, am I behind in life? Should I be somewhere else? I have my friends in different cities. They're working full time with big salaries, and I was there working at restaurants. And I had a lot of nights where I was just thinking, man, is this really where I should be in life? I want to be a coach. I want to help people to wake up and to evolve their consciousness and to heal and to grow. And here I am as a server working at restaurants. And then I was a manager pretty fast, but still, I'm just a manager at restaurants. Is that really why I'm here on this planet, to be a restaurant manager? And that was what I was thinking many nights. And I kept asking for God, universe, please just help me make sure I'm on the right path. Please make sure that I was telling the universe what I wanted to do, which was to become a coach and a speaker and consultant and have a family and have financial abundance. And there was just a lot of times where I felt like this was not coming true. What I didn't realize was all those years of working at restaurants, it taught me a lot, and I learned a lot. And aside from just what I learned and what I was experiencing, talking with people, how to manage emotions with a team, and you have a big restaurant, all this noise, there's a lot of skills and abilities I learned from the restaurants. And that was what was lacking in the beginning. Was I had a vision for myself, and I knew I had to change my beliefs and my thoughts and my actions and my emotions and all that fun stuff. But what I didn't realize was I had to improve my skills. My skills were not good. My video skills, my speaking skills, my coaching skills. So I wish someone told me sooner that whatever vision we have for ourselves, yes, we have to do the belief work, the subconscious work, but we also have to practice, and we have to just put the reps in. We have to put the reps in, which I mean, we have to just work at it, and we have to improve our skill set, because we could have great beliefs and we could have great energy, but if it comes down to doing the task or doing the thing, maybe for you it's a healing, or it's singing, or it's coaching, or it's art, we have to improve our skills. And this is why I think sometimes our journey is up and down, and we have this job and then this job, and then we have this relationship, and then we have a breakup, and we have this thing happen. It's like a roller coaster. And I think the divine design of it all is also to help us with our skills. So the point of this video is I was going to share about different things that happened to me when I shifted realities and I had these big changes in my life, but I think I'm going to just scrap that. And I just want to say that what skills can you work on right now that will get you to that talent level, that ability, that the future version of you already has that. So the future version of you that's living your dream life, it has more skills than you have right now. Like the version of me that's doing a lot more speaking events and working with large companies and coaching their managers, and I'm making lots of money. I think I'm getting pretty close to that, but I know that there's a couple more skills. I have to learn a little bit more things and some more tools and some more things I can work on with people to get there. So that's my focus, is how can I learn more? How can I improve my skill set? What can I master in the meantime? Because it's frustrating when you're not really seeing much progress. You've been at a certain job maybe for 6 months or a year, or you've been at your parents' house, or I've been in all those spots before. And I think what no one talks about is that once your skills hit a certain point, maybe you're right here, and a few more weeks or a few more months of your skills being developed, maybe it's speaking skills, or it's listening skills, or it's coaching skills. There's a million different skills. But maybe once we hit that certain level, over time, boom, a certain skill level, then perhaps everything can change very fast for us, right? So it's not just about the emotions, which is, I'm very passionate about the emotional intelligence. It's also our skill level. The first step is to become aware of where are our skills at now? And if I want to have my dream reality, can I begin to bridge the gap with those skills, right? And the skills that you develop now, you have for your entire rest of your life. If this video gave you some value, do me a favor and just share it with a friend, because it helps the channel to grow. I'll be sharing a lot more on this page as well. Thanks for watching, my friend. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon.